There are hotels and then there are hotels. A lot of these bucket list locations are very exciting to visit, especially this one for an aviation geek like me. But after the initial excitement wears off and we start looking at it from an objective perspective, things begin to unravel.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
G'day guys, and I'm coming to you from Arlanda Airport here in Stockholm, Sweden. And this is perhaps it's going to be one of the most interesting and unique hotels I have ever stayed in. This is a 747 that used to fly for several airlines, and it has now been turned into a hotel. And this is my stay for tonight. So come along with me and let's see what this interesting hotel is all about. Let's do this.
Everybody just do your thing.
If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now call Australia home, and I create heaps of travel and food-related content. This trip sees us set foot in 5 countries over the course of 2.5 weeks. We stop in China for a first glimpse into an often misunderstood country. And then we set off to the UK, where we'd spend most of our time in Scotland as part of a wedding party. And what an eventful week that was. We then make our way towards Scandinavia, stopping in Denmark, and I pay homage to Sweden, because every person alive needs to visit the ABBA Museum and know that the meatballs you have in IKEA taste nothing like the ones in Sweden. We make a brief stop in Finland before heading back to the UK for our extremely long flight back home. This travel series will be filled with flight reports, destination vlogs, and a train journey thrown in for good measure. And these videos will be linked in the description as and when they're published. So make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell icon so you won't miss the next episode coming up. Giving me a like is a good way to support my channel. So here's the thanks, because it's very much appreciated. The Jumbo Stay Hotel is a rather curious and prominent landmark on this airport compound. Most visitors to Arlanda Airport would have heard of this hotel one way or another. It's located a short distance from the airport, but free shuttle buses take you to the bus stop conveniently named Jumbo Hotel, which is a stop here, making your airport transfer very convenient. Along the way, fellow passengers on the bus around me were fascinated by the fact that I was going to be a customer at this rather strange hotel. This Boeing 747 is a 200 series carrying the code 12, and that's the code for Singapore Airlines. Indeed, it was built in 1976 and delivered brand new to that airline, where it flew as 9 Victor Sierra Quebec Echo until 1984, when it was sold to Pan American World Airways. From there, she later spent her life with Cathay Pacific, Garuda Indonesia, amongst others, before ending up with the Swedish charter airline Transjet, based out of Arlanda Airport. They went bankrupt in 2002. The 747 then sat neglected at Arlanda Airport for a while, before it was picked up by Oscar Diaz, a businessman with a chain of hotels under his name. And he has a reputation for turning strange locations into accommodation venues. Boats, lighthouses, trains, you name it. And now, a Boeing 747. This hotel is largely unmanned. Once a booking is made, you're given a code to punch in at the entrance on the day of check-in to allow you access into the lobby. Another code opens a safe where you'd find your room key within. It's all rather straightforward, but you'd have to read the very wordy email carefully because these instructions were embedded within, which wasn't exactly the easiest to make out. I made this booking via booking.com though. Perhaps other booking portals could have an easier way of communicating these instructions. I'm not too sure. As far as room options go, we start with these capsule pods which used to be engines. Obviously the insides have been gutted and converted into a very cozy space for two. Bathrooms are not included. The Boeing 747 has 4 large wheel bogies to evenly distribute its massive weight on the ground. These bogies have rather sizable wheel wells to house them. And these wells have been converted into 4 more bedrooms. Once again, bathrooms are not included. As you marvel at being so up close and personal to this Queen of the Skies, use this time to slap an aircraft tire or two, because who knows when you'd get this opportunity again. Just in case you needed more hints that this structure here is aviation related, there's this baggage cart vehicle which has been left randomly there, basking and wasting away in the elements. If only this car could talk, imagine the stories he could reveal. What sort of strange cargo has he pulled? Pets? Exotic animals? Human remains? Luggage for the Swedish royalty? Who knows? One of the many highlights staying at the Jumbo Stay Hotel is the ability to walk on the wing of a 747. The wingspan of a typical 747 comes in at about 60 meters. These stats mean nothing on paper until you're physically standing on the wing. Only then you'll realize how large the surface area is. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and marvel at the wonder of flight. How the hell does this thing even fly? And the only thing keeping this entire airframe airborne is this very metal surface beneath my feet. On this perfect Swedish summer evening, this is definitely a great place to chill as you look at aircraft taxiing by. At this moment, life is great. The Jumbo Stay has a total of 76 beds spread out over 33 rooms. The bulk of these rooms are located along the main fuselage of this aircraft. From the inside, this corridor does remind me of a cruise ship. Bear in mind, none of these rooms located along this corridor have ensuite bathrooms, and everyone uses a common shared bathroom/toilet at the rear. So if you're staying in the rooms outside in the engines or the wheel bay, imagine trying to get to the toilet up here in the snowy slush of Sweden's winter. There are 2 suites located at this hotel, which is the cockpit suite on the upper deck and the black box suite located here. And this is where I'll be sleeping tonight. Welcome to the black box suite. On any aircraft, this is where the rear pressure bulkhead and the black box would be located, and hence the name of this room. It comes with a queen-size bed with a couple of very thin pillows, which is a bummer. The ceilings are very high, following the curvature of the aircraft, which gives it an extremely spacious feeling. Self-service tea and coffee is included in the price of your room. But for the life of me, I could not get this coffee machine to work. There are some reminders of the previous operators of this very aircraft on the wall, and the origins of these photos are almost from another era. Who remembers airliners.net? And who remembers the username Brian Air with 3 exclamation marks? That was me. Sometimes I feel I'm too old to be doing shared bathrooms with strangers. So I'm incredibly grateful to be getting an ensuite. The facilities are very basic, so don't go expecting high-end Lalique toiletries or Aspara moisturizers, because there's none of that. There's just one all-purpose soap dispenser. To be honest, it was only for one night, so I'm not one to kick up a fuss about it. The nose of this aircraft, where the first-class cabin is usually located, houses the cafe. Up till now, I have not seen a single employee, underlining the unmanned, self-serve nature of this accommodation facility. This footage was taken the next day, and breakfast had already been set up presumably by a ninja before he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Breakfast is of the continental variety, which isn't to my taste. My husband was staying at the Clarion Airport Hotel, and after I check out of here, that's where I'm headed to have a proper brekkie. I just need my scrambled eggs, bacon and sausages, and I'm not getting it here at the Jumbo Stay. Still, this has been an eye-opening experience for me, but it's time to get real. Strip away the high and the novelty, and let's come back down to earth for a minute and be as impartial as I can be. There's no denying the fact that when you're paying to stay at this accommodation, you're really paying for the novelty factor. My one-night stay at the Blackbox suite had cost me a whopping 358 Australian dollars. For that, it got me a hotel with a faded facade which had seen better days. As recent as 2019, we could still tell it spelled like a mobile. On this day, I think it said Le Mole. Who knows? By the way, if you have heavy luggage in tow, the elevator isn't working. I don't think it has worked since God knows when, because all I saw in there was a pile of dead leaves. As for the room, the pillows were very thin. So it's a good thing I was flying solo for this experience, as I squished all 4 pillows together to make one giant fluffy one. This trip was done in summer, and Sweden is almost on the same latitude as Finland, the land of the midnight sun. So on this day, the sun never really set, which meant daylight was always going to be streaming into the room for most of the day. And there are no window shades on the aircraft door. So I MacGyvered the situation by stuffing a beanbag there in hopes of blocking out most of the light outside. It wasn't ideal, but hey, it is what it is. And finally, I got up in the middle of the night to do a number 1, and my bare feet kicked this metal plate right there. If I had contacted this a few millimeters more towards here, it would have resulted in a really nasty deep gash on my right toe. This is not safe at all. And for the accommodation to be unmanned, I would have been in real strife. And this was my experience at the Jumbo Stay. After you've stripped away the novelty factor, you'd find an accommodation which has done the bare minimum just to keep that place running. You can surely stay there for way less than what I've paid, but you might have to trek some distance just to take a dump. Suppose it's a blessing the surrounding grass is so thick. Perhaps you can crouch in there if you're really desperate to go. The footages of all my live commentary was done when I was excited like a kid in a candy store, because this location is definitely an F-geek's wet dream. But once the excitement wore off, I began to see the cracks, and I do feel it is overrated, in various states of disrepair, and frankly pretty unsafe, especially with the room's construction and maintenance. Do you agree with my assessment about the Jumbo Stay at Arlanda Airport? Let me know in the comments. For now, let's join a chirpy live Ryan to conclude this video.
And so guys, this is the 747 Jumbo Stay Hotel right here in Stockholm Arlanda Airport. Would you like to stay here? Let me know in the comments because I'm pretty eager to hear from you. I mean, I am literally so excited. I don't think I can even sleep a single wink tonight. Well, anyway, I've chucked details of my Instagram on your screen right now, so hit me up there and chuck me a follow. And of course, more importantly, do not forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon so you'll be notified every single time when I come to another interesting hotel like this one. Alright, take care you guys, and I will see you for my next video. Bye!